It's not a good movie, but it's the perfect Spider-Man movie. Movie review plus interesting little details. Wild Man review Spider-Man, Heroes No Return, the 15th of December 2021, 23:29 and 5 seconds. This review may contain spoilers. There is a saying in the Dublin film review of Iron Man 3 that I like very much. This is a good movie, but not a good Iron Man movie. This quote can be reversed in Spider-Man 3, Homeless. It's not a good movie, but it's a perfect Spider-Man movie. In 2007, when I was 8 years old, I first saw Spider-Man 1 on the movie channel, and for a long time after that, Spider-Man's image and abilities became the object of my fantasy. The most memorable shot is when Tobey grows a black thorn in his thumb and then has the ability to crawl on the wall, and since then, Spider-Man has become a hero in my heart, because he is the first superhero I have come into contact with. After watching Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 on the movie channel for the next few years, I met Norman Osborn, who usually showed no concern for his son but first thought of not letting his son know that he was a bad person when he was dying. I met Dr. Otto, who had great ambitions but chose to die with his dreams in order to make up for his mistakes. Met the Sandman, who is a cold-blooded criminal but only has his daughter in his heart. Does this guy have no name? Most of all, I met a full Spider-Man through these 3 films. A lonely hero who is rebellious and desperate for affection but can only stay away from all those he knows. He was poor, his life and work were not smooth, he was squeezed and humiliated by various bosses every day, he had to worry about rent every day, and his girlfriend was still with others. But he would stand in front of everyone again and again whenever people needed it. Then, just when I thought the Spider-Man series was over and began to slowly forget about the character, The Amazing Spider-Man was released. Changing the depressing and hopeful mature style of the previous game, Garfield's Spider-Man is more like a youth drama, full of vitality, sunshine, and a campus love drama full of handsome men and beautiful women. But in the end, he still can't escape the fate of being a hero. Even if he is limping, he has to fight, because only he can do it in his world. In the end, the girlfriend's father died in front of him, and the respected mentor became a monster who wanted to kill himself. And I also began to understand that anyone who was close to him would not have a good end. In 2014, in my junior year of junior high school, I skipped the cram school and used my pocket money for 3 weeks to buy a 2D movie ticket for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Before that, I had sacrificed countless revision time to see many production specials, from actor interviews, to special effects production, to theme music performances. I knew everything about it, because I loved this hero. The Amazing 2 Spider-Man descends from the sky, accompanied by music, and he seems to be the freest person in the whole city. And in that instant, I shared his freedom, and I also had a dream of traveling through the sky. And The Extraordinary 2 also changed the style of the previous youth drama, but highlighted the tragic part of the first one, and all those who approached them did not have a good ending. The girlfriend falls in his arms, the best friend goes crazy and wants to kill himself, and the person who worships him becomes a crazy monster because of his mistakes. What follows? It's a topic shared by 2 generations of Spider-Man: loneliness. The hero named Spider-Man will always, and must be lonely. It was 2016 again, and I, who had never waited for The Amazing Spider-Man 3, waited for Captain America: Civil War, and they finally gave up their previous plan and launched a new Spider-Man. Younger than the previous 2, both talkative, lively and sunny and lovely. But I always felt like something was missing. We all felt something was missing. Before that, not many Spider-Man fans liked Dutchman, and most of them would laugh and call him Iron Man's son. A lot of people, including me, laugh at this character like this. Why? Because he is very happy, and Spider-Man should not be happy. This is a hero destined for tragedy. He has a girlfriend who loves him very much, a diehard party who mixes together every day, a dry daddy who protects him everywhere, an omnipotent high-tech mech, and he holds the status of a group favorite in the entire Avengers. There is a beautiful and gentle young Aunt May, and there is a warm little home. Everything is so harmonious and beautiful, but this should not belong to Spider-Man. So from 2016 until the film, the Dutch Brothers Spider-Man has been in a state of polarization of reviews. Some people fan his Spider-Man because of his appearance and personality, and some people, include me, who scorn him because he is too happy. But even so, I still haven't left him behind any of his appearances because I like Spider-Man so much. At the same time, I also have an unrealistic wish. That is, one day these 3 generations of Spider-Man can appear at the same time. I hope that the childhood hero can appear again. I hope that the hero who symbolized handsomeness in my eyes in junior high school and high school will appear again. And I hope that the current child who does hero games can grow up to be like his predecessors. Of course, this was a very unrealistic dream at the time. Tobey Maguire basically did not show his face, Andrew Garfield would never appear in a superhero movie again, and the Dutch brother would never learn to sacrifice in the context of the Marvel Universe. However, speaking of movies, first of all, this is not a good movie. The script framework is very simple. It is completely a hodgepodge of smorgasbords written for the sake of the whole life. I can even imagine that the screenwriting department and the director department first came up with the same frame of 3 worms, and then pushed the script forward. But as a Spider-Man movie, I couldn't find a better adjective than perfect. It's not Spider-Man 3, it's Spider-Man, and the previous 2 and the reunions are like a prequel. All the previous black dots about the Dutch brother have been reversed, as if Doctor Strange has also cast a spell on the outside of the movie. Let everyone forget that the Dutch brother is the son of Iron Man. He did, and he not only got Dutchman rid of all the black spots before, but also gave the previous 2 Spider-Man a perfect ending. Still, the Norman Osborn, who was superficially indifferent to his son, the first thing that came to his mind after crossing over was that he would never see his son again. Tobey finally saves Norman Osborn from the spiky spire of the Craft, and the Sandman finally turns back into a human being who can go back to see his daughter. Dear Otto just looked at his most optimistic student in front of him, who was nearly middle-aged in front of him wearing a spider suit with satisfaction and pride, and said a heartfelt sentence, "You have grown up, child, how's it going?" At that moment, I felt as if I was back in elementary school sitting in front of the TV, watching Dear Otto sink to the bottom of the lake and be buried with his dream. The Lizard Man changed back to his human form, and the Electric Light Man also got rid of the control of electricity. And this time Garfield didn't forget his name, but said the phrase, "You've never been a little person, Max." And Garfield finally saved the princess, as if to make up for the mistake of the year. He must have woken up in countless nights before he would decisively abandon the spider silk and hold up MJ in the safest position. The moment he cried out with relief and regret, I cried too. Some people say that youth should be a comma so that we will always dream and miss forever. And in that instant, this story and my childhood dream were all over, and I didn't have to wait for the Amazing Spider-Man 3 anymore. And in the end, of course, it also gives the Dutch brother a full stop, but it also gives him a new beginning, a beginning that belongs to Spider-Man. He spent 3 films, experienced many, and finally embarked on the road of the first 2 films of the first 2, and he ushered in his own growth. When this once arrogant, lively, and optimistic child, after losing his father, his only relative, loved one and his friends, he still chose to smile. When he moved from the villa into the cheap apartment, he began to worry about rent in the cold bed. When he did not have intelligent Ori and chose to use his mobile phone to receive police signals. When he did not have high-grade armor, he chose to use a sewing machine to make a uniform of the same color as his predecessors. When he was lonely, he was still able to rush out of the window without hesitation and fly to those who needed help. I knew he was back, the hero of his childhood, the good neighbor, the man who never gave up, who always held on to his dreams. Spider-Man.